boy, have I learned that if you're working on yourself and you're breaking away from the toxicity, you are leaving those people behind, you're getting out of narcissistic relationships, whatever the case is, I have learned that from very good mentors and teachers and from experience, because I've had it energetically coming towards me. I didn't get that for a long time, that whatever damn energy space we are in, we're going to attract certain vibrations. It took me a long damn time to get that. You can think it's flaky if you want. I often have to balance science and spirituality, psychology and spirituality, because I love both, and I think in both minds. I see it from both perspectives. But here's the thing. Me, for example, just coming out of a very toxic situation with a narcissistic abuser who gaslighted me, the epitome of gaslighting. I mean, just to death. It was just the worst case scenario all the time, almost like he had mental illness. And, I wanted to help the person. I felt for it for a long time, but it really was damaging to me. And it triggered the hell out of me because my mother does it. She did it all of my life. Father, alcoholic, abusive, every kind of abuse on the map, he did it to me. But he was also very loving and lifting of my ego and manipulative at the same time. So, my last partner and I, 6 years, we did have a major trauma bond. And he had both elements of my mother and father. And I would catch myself getting triggered. I would catch myself seeing those elements of my parents, and I was kind of aware of what was going on. I was just powerless to really do much about it for way too long. So I would notice that during the gaslighting with him, I would just flip shit. It would make me so angry that he would not only break my boundaries, but then sit there and have the nerve to go through his barrage of, "Oh, come on, it's just a joke. Oh, you're just off the deep end. You remind me of my mother. Oh, come on, it's not that big a deal. You're crazy." I mean, he would just, everything from every angle he could come from with the damn gaslighting. And he reminded me so much of my mother and father in many, many different ways. And I caught myself doing it, and I was like, okay, look, you're wasting your energy. You know what he's like now. You're going to have to work your way out of this. You're not going to get anywhere with it, just like you never got anywhere with your mother. My mother turned a blind eye to all of the abuse that was going on in our home. She was scared. She was being beaten. But she also, it's almost like she sacrificed us to my father. She knew a lot of shit was going on, and she wasn't by my side. I'm the one that had to finally stand up and do something about it, and I'll make another video about that one day. But my mother has always, my therapist that I've known since I was a teenager, she did all of our psychological evaluations years back. My mother has what's called schizoid personality. I don't think it's even in the current DSM. It's in the older ones. But she has a very checked out, avoidant, she doesn't show emotion, she doesn't like to, she doesn't say, "I love you." She does other little gestures. She has terrible time being vulnerable, terrible time being affectionate. She was not very nurturing. In fact, my father was more nurturing and loving like a mother would be, at the same time as being violently abusive, breaking every boundary, manipulative, sexual, physical, all kinds of abuse. Okay. So, yeah, my mother has always been very checked out. I was angry with her for many, many years. We went through a lot of that. And then I had a 10 or 12 year period where she and I did a lot of work together. We came to some understandings, and she started to treat me better. I literally had to teach my mother how to treat me, how to mother me, or at least how to respect me, talk to me like a human. My mother is a narcissist, very narcissistic personality. And so, but we got to a point where for a period of years we were like best friends. We knew what level we could connect on, and I knew what I could not go to my own mother for. I had to learn that. But today we actually got into it because I'm coming out of I've still got PTSD to work on. I've had PTSD all my life since childhood, but it has been re-triggered since this 6-year relationship I just finally cut all ties just 2 months ago. I've been trying to work my way out of it for a very long time. And so already I'm in that vibration. My mother, out of the blue, she pulls this gaslighting thing on me today. It's been a long time since we've had an incident like that, but I'm going to get to the point about why it is crucial that we heal, okay? That we get out of that energy as quickly as we can, because they're coming for us. They're all going to come out of the woodwork. That energy is going to keep coming for us. Whatever we were trapped in that we just got out of, and we're still traumatized, and we're still trying to do some healing work, but we still have that energy residue on us. Okay, but back to what I was saying. The short and sweet of it is, I set a boundary with my mother today. We had planned to go swimming, and I told her, I said, I'll pick you up around 3. I only have 1 hour, but I would like to make time. I haven't seen you in a long time. I was going out of my way to make time to see my mother. I could have gone swimming by myself and had an easier time of it. No big deal. It was what it was, okay? And she said, hey, well, can we stop by my house? She has a house that burned that's close to the pool where we go to. She lives in an apartment across town from there. Can we stop at the house and pick up, this, and that today on the way back? I said, no, Mom, I'm sorry, I won't be able to do that. I'm very stressed out about my rent. I have bills due. I'm still recovering from some things. I just don't have time in my schedule. And don't get me wrong, I've been there for my mother countless times. Surgeries, recoveries. I have been there for her. I have bathed her. I have taken care of her when she needed it. Okay? But this was not an emergency. It was not a scheduled thing. And I did not have time for that today. I only had time to do that one little thing. And to give you some context, again, I just got out of an extremely bad relationship. Trauma bonded, codependency. Both of us had childhood issues, severe alcoholic, and covert narcissistic abuse constantly. Harassment, gaslighting, betrayals, lies, all kinds of things going on, okay? I am still in that energy, right, where I've broken away from it, and I'm desperate to rebuild myself. I'm kind of hanging by that little thread where it's do or die now. It's don't miss work. And it's crucial for me to start setting boundaries as part of my healing and really sticking to those boundaries, and not only for other people, to keep other people off of me and get myself back, but also because my brain was so traumatized by living with this alcoholic narcissistic person that I lost all function in my life. I even lost I was homeless for a time. My routines, my work, everything about me was affected. I just sat around shaking and catatonic a lot of the time. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Everything was torn apart. Living with an alcoholic was hell. You don't get to live normal schedules, normal living, any of that. Because he just laid drunk 24/7 pretty much and wanted me to lay with him. And he was always harassing me, always at me. So, you can imagine how triggered I am right now. So, I'm realizing today, and I've heard this from really great mentors, and I'm understanding it even better. When you come out of something like that, you're in this energy field that you're traumatized, you're going to be triggered by people, you're on edge. That's why it's very important. Build a good support system, have good people around you that you can talk to and rely on, that you know they're safe, they won't gaslight you, they're not going to put you through that. It's important that you do that. I don't have a lot of people right now, I really don't. I've got to get back in touch with my therapist, but yeah, I'm realizing even more today that no sooner than we get over to the pool, after I specifically, told my mom in a nice way, no, Mom, I can't do any of that today. Even if, here's the thing with setting boundaries, guys. I don't care if it's just 5 minutes away. I don't care if it would only take you a second. This is how they undermine you. This is how a narcissist undermines you, invalidates you. It's sickening. So many people don't respect boundaries. When you've already told someone, no, this is my day, take it or leave it. I don't care how easy it would be for you to just do it. That is why I got so screwed up in the first place. Because I let people do that to me. Family members, my partner. It was just so easy. Oh yeah, I'll do it for you guys. Okay, I got you. I had 4 or 5 different people coming at me for years, depending on me. Oh, we can put it on her real quick. Oh, she won't mind. Let's just get her to do it real quick. I was basically living everyone else's life and getting torn the fuck apart, okay? And so, here we go. We get over to the pool, and my mother is a narcissist. She doesn't tune in to what's going on with me, my stress level, my vibration. I've never been able to talk to her about stuff like that. She doesn't listen. And as soon as we were finished swimming, I'm like, Mom, I'm going to be late for work. I got to go get ready. We better pack up and get ready to go. Sure as shit, what does she say? Hey, do you think we could stop at the house on the way and just let me grab blah, blah, blah real quick? Because she rode with me. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, and no, it is not one of those cases where, I'm being mean to my mother or making a big deal out of anything. No, I no boundaries. She is a narcissist. She doesn't think twice about anyone else's boundaries. A narcissist will do whatever they can to put shit on you. That's how they think. Oh, fuck her job. Fuck her schedule. They don't tune into the fact that, well, a normal mother would. Well, my daughter has been destroyed. She just got out of a very bad relationship. She's struggling financially. She's hardly able to even be social. I'm surprised she was even able to make time to come out and do this for an hour. I have stayed by myself, working on myself. My son lives in and out with me, but that's it. I've been working because I am financially destroyed by this last relationship. And so I haven't even been able to have social time. A normal mother would understand that and respect those boundaries and care about her daughter's feelings. I cannot have that with my mother. But it really threw me off when she did that to me today. And it pissed me off. Because, okay, but here's what I'm saying. And we got into it. Mom, we already settled that up. I said no. But I'd like to know why you thought it was okay to ask me again. That is what I just got finished living with for 6 years. I was not valid. I was not seen. I was not heard. I was a non-entity. I did not exist as far as the narcissist is concerned. My pleas for mercy, nothing worked. No, I don't feel like getting up and taking you to get beer right now. I'm trying to rest. Nothing mattered. It was like an unstoppable force, an evil force. That's what it feels like when you're dealing with a narcissist. They don't see you. They don't hear you. They are so fucking checked out. It's all about using you to get whatever the fuck they can put on you. And the thing with my mother, why I'm so triggered with her, is because in childhood, again, she sat back and let me go through horrific abuse. She put that on me so that a lot of times she wouldn't have to get up. I was cooking, I was cleaning, I was being awakened at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning to make my father's breakfast, to pack his lunch, among other things that were happening to me, while my mother laid the fuck down there, passed out asleep, checked out. She didn't do drugs, she didn't do alcohol. She was just checked out. And she knew we were being beaten, and I feel like she had to have known. How can a mother not know that her child is being sexually violated and all these crazy things going on? So anyway, that's what's so triggering about me with her, is that she sat back and let these things happen. And so, and I've worked on a lot of that stuff, but yes, a lot of people would say, they would gaslight you and say, oh, that's no big deal. You should just do that for your mom. It wouldn't have taken it a few minutes. Hey, you've got to understand trauma. You've got to understand when things like this happen to people, it is crucial that we keep our boundaries. That is how we lost ourselves in the first place, is little by little by little, we let our boundaries go with a narcissistic partner or whoever, And before we know it, we're so far in, we have nothing left. We have no identity. Nobody respects us. Exactly. That's exactly right. And no, we don't have to fly off the deep end, but a traumatized person will. They will get angry because it's like, what do they call that? Like Chinese water torture or something? Little by little by little by little. They just drive you insane. It's like, what do I have to do to get you people to hear me? I said no. And man, and my whole family is traumatized, mental illness, addictions, toxic, just toxic. And so we can only do short doses of each other. And so, yeah, I'm basically having to rebuild everything and my whole energy. So I stood by my boundary. I did not take her. And I really wanted her to answer me, but I know I'm never going to get that validation. And she gaslighted me the whole time, gaslit me the whole way. You're crazy. You're just like you're just like this. You don't have to go off the deep end about it. My God, I shouldn't have to think about how I breathe and how I... So, Mom, you're telling me you shouldn't have to be self-aware and you shouldn't have to respect your daughter's feelings and remember that I mean, it's just her personality. She does that kind of thing all the time. And yeah, so, but what I'm realizing about the energy that we carry when we come out of stuff like that, I've learned through very good mentors and teachers and experience that if we are in a really triggered energy, it's important that we get in therapy or get to working on that healing and try to get out of it. Try to get out of the reactive state as soon as we can. Because, and I was reactive today. I really was. I'm not out of the reactive state yet. I am so hurt. I'm so angry. And I'm so fucking traumatized. I really am. And you might feel alone with this shit. When you're working on yourself and you are trying to ascend to a higher consciousness, it will be lonely. And they will come after you. You will not relate to any of those people anymore. And you will feel very bombarded by their ignorance, their poison, their lies, their deceit, their toxicity, their thinking patterns. Because you're on two different frequencies now. And so, yes, today more than ever, it's like a total reinforcement of that knowledge for me to hurry up as fast as I can. I'm not trying to rush anybody's healing. It's valid. However long you need to be upset, that shit is valid. These people shouldn't be doing this shit. They should be the ones being responsible and getting the damn help, not continuing to do this to us. But they're not going to, so we have to take fucking responsibility. We have to do the work and set even bigger boundaries with these people. And I stayed on my boundary with her tonight. I took her to her car. No, Mom, no. I already set a plan. It is important for me to stick to even the smallest of boundaries right now because I am in such bad shape. It is important for me. I don't care how tiny, how quickly I could do this or whatnot. It's the point that it was a boundary. That's what these people don't get. That's what a narcissist, they don't get any of it. Okay? So don't feel guilty about stuff like that when your toxic family tries to run over you, tries to bully you, gaslight you, make you feel horrible. And again, the less reactive we can be, the better off we're going to be. Get out of that reactive energy. And I know I should have simply told her, no, let's go. If I'd left it at that, that gives that narcissist less chance to sit there and gaslight you and hurt you even more and trigger you even more. And they love it. That is a form of entertainment for them. They smirk and they shrug their shoulders and they think it's funny because they're so miserable. They are not going to change. They don't have any light left inside. And that hurts me for them. I mean, that's my own mother. Of course, I don't want her to feel that way, but that's of her own choosing. She's made her bed. She's made her choices. And yes, they feel entertained when they get you to react. even though, she had mixed feelings about it tonight, she smirked and she whatever and laughed and did that whole duping delight crap. And then at other times she did look kind of sad, and I backed off. I didn't want to hurt her, but I was so angry that she gaslighted me and went round in circles. And I reminded myself, Tam, this is 40-something years. You know better. You're not going to get validation, approval, anything from her. You're not going to get it. In years past, I have been able to literally pin her to the wall in conversation, no matter where she tried to squirm, eyes on the floor, looking over here, looking over there, so afraid to be intimate and vulnerable and talk to me. Mom, I used to really get on that level and be able to pin her, and we were able to make some progress in the past, but I'm in no shape to do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. And so, like I say, I just wanted to share that with you guys. It helps me to get it out, and I know somebody out there can relate to this. The sooner we can get out of that reactive energy, oh my God, why did you just do that? You just trampled all over my boundaries. Okay, I understand the world is not going to give two shits, and I'm understanding it even more now. The world is not going to understand how traumatized we are. They're not going to understand what we've been through. They don't give a shit. Even our closest people don't give a shit sometimes. It's up to us. It is up to me to take control of my energy and to get out of that reactive, I'm so anxiety ridden, I'm so triggered, I'm so on edge. Yes, it makes us almost hypersensitive, and we don't want to stay hypersensitive because that's what the narcissist is. No. So it is very important that we focus on our healing, and I know that now. Because we do attract certain energies, and it took me a long time to get that to click in my head that I'm attracting certain things to me because energy doesn't know the damn difference, whether you have good intentions with that energy or bad intentions with that energy. For instance, one time I was so anxiety ridden, I thought my car was going to get repossessed. I was behind a couple payments, and I was praying, and I was having an anxiety attack that day going, oh God, please don't let anything happen to this car. It's all I have. It's when I was actually homeless and sleeping in the car, and all of my things were in the car. It's literally all I had. My job depended on it. I was doing Uber, and one day something came across me, and I became so anxiety ridden, just out of the blue, about losing my car. Negative thoughts. What if? Oh God, if this car came out from under me, I would just die. I was in that energy, right? Energy can't tell the difference if you're saying, hey, I really don't want this to happen. I'm so thankful I have a car. It can't tell the difference of what the hell's going on. Energy just attracts. It knows that there's an intensity there. There's a vibration there. And later that damn night, I'm going down the interstate, and a dog, most horrific thing I've ever had to experience, a dog comes out of the brush, the woods, into the interstate. It's pitch black. I did not see the dog because the dog's black. I'm doing 75 miles an hour on an interstate, and it was too late. I hit the dog, and it tore the radiator out of the front of my car. And my car was put up for a week, and I had to struggle to find money to fix it. This poor dog, it killed the dog. It was horrible, and I almost never lived that down. So that is a prime example. I went into shock about how quickly I can manifest energy, good or bad, and that I need to seriously keep my energy field on the right things. And I've had other incidents like that too. So that's the thing. It doesn't seem to differentiate between, oh, well, she's just saying she doesn't want anything to happen. She's just saying she's so thankful she has a car. It doesn't seem to differentiate what the hell's going on. If you're in an anxious vibe like that, and you you're in that vibration, you're on that frequency that's really scared, really anxious, it's not going to be, it doesn't seem to be able to differentiate. It's going to pull that very thing that you don't want to you. Like Pete Zapper says at the Chosen 144 channel. In his teachings, he talks about how you can never get enough of what you don't want. That's right. Because with our energy, we have to be very careful. Because we can pull in exactly what we're trying to avoid pulling in. Yep. Hey, I realize more and more as I go. So yeah, and I realize in the last 2 months, coming out of that very traumatic narcissistic relationship and still being very triggered, being very on edge, being very hypersensitive, then it seems like everywhere I go, I'm pulling negativity to me lately. They're coming out of the woodwork. The narcissist is on his smear campaign. He's getting flying monkeys to come at me. That was happening. Now here's my mother pulling this shit and gaslighting me. I got into it with another family member a couple weeks ago. It just seems like, so I'm putting it back on me, and I am aware of the fact that I need to be very careful and go ahead and readjust that energy. It's okay to be in a bad place. I know some people might disagree with this. It might offend some people. They might be like, hey, that shit happened to us. We shouldn't be taking the blame. And, I'm not trying to put it out like that. But I just know from my own personal experience that the more anxious our energy is, these fucking people start coming out of the woodwork at you, man. If it senses that you're vulnerable, I don't know. It's like it's a spiritual thing to me. It's like some kind of dark ass entity or energy weaves and works through these damn people that is after people who are working in the light, people who are working on self, people who are, somebody just pulled up behind me and they have a whole fucking parking lot that they could have gone around. I don't understand. But yeah, it seems to work through these people. When you're working on yourself and trying to work towards the light and do good things and heal yourself, it seems like it's going to come at you even more hardcore. And it's pretty scary. So that was a big realization for me today. Sometimes I come to my own damn realizations based on teachings I've had in the past and mentors and things I've studied and heard, and it'll just come to me. I'll get in an experience and I'll go, oh, okay, look at you. This is what you're manifesting. So you have to be careful. And I know a lot of people don't like that word. They get offended by that. They're like, no, fuck that. These people are doing this to us. We're not manifesting that. We shouldn't have to be responsible for people, trying to victimize us. But hey, it's the way energy works, man. So it is important. Do your healing. Take your time. It's valid. If you want to be angry, if you want to be sad, if you want to grieve, if you're having anxiety, all of that is valid. And in your own time, find appropriate ways to get it out and heal it. But I'm just saying, the longer you stay in a very vulnerable, hypersensitive, anxious, the very things that you are afraid of happening to you, yes, you can end up pulling those very things to you by dwelling on that and staying in that energy form, okay? So it's kind of a balance we have to meet. I'm not invalidating anyone. Don't invalidate or gaslight yourself either. I'm not doing that. It is valid. Deal with those things. Feel what you need to feel. And put it out there. Put it wherever you need to put it. But at the same time, be careful with your energy. Because it will pull things to you that you possibly do not want. And reactions. The less we can be reactive, hell yes, I'm learning. Oh, I'm still learning. Don't be reactive. But one more thing I want to say before I go. I know that I should not have reacted like that. I got very angry with her and called her out, confronted, wanted the validation. I know better than that. I should have just said no and gone on. But the thing about that with a stranger or anyone else, of course, I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm just going to go on the fuck about my business. But with my own mother, that is hard because, yes, you want that validation from your own mother. But if I had just said, no, let's go, and gone on about my business without reacting, and I know better than to ever give that to a narcissist. But if I had done that, then that energy would have been trapped in me. That authentic anger and letting the person know, you've just made me angry now. You have stepped over my boundary. I'm hurt. I'm offended. And I'm angry. And I'm going to let you know it. And I'd really like to know why you did that. I'm sorry, but that is how I handle things, and it's important for me to do that. We can't do that with everyone. It really depends on who it is. You're not going to do that with some stranger or somebody you're not around a lot. But when it comes to our close people, I just feel like if I hadn't reacted the way I did, and I just stayed calm, cool, collected, and said, no, let's go. I'm getting there. That's the best way to be when you know you're dealing with a freaking narcissist. Okay, I'm admitting that I'm not there yet. For me, if I had done that, then I would have all of that boiling. First I'm hurt, then I'm angry. All that boiling, that disappointment, that invalidation, all of that shit would have sat there, right there in me. And I might have taken it out elsewhere. You see, this is why I try to keep a balance of not overreacting and guarding that energy, and not playing into the narcissist, but at the same time, asserting myself and right then, because see, a narcissist stores everything. They can be passive aggressive. Some of them are quite violent and have outbursts, but a narcissist is so avoidant and so detached. They don't get in touch with their feelings. They don't identify things. A lot of times they will not tell you right then in the moment, this is what you did wrong. I want to let you go ahead and know it so you can work on it. So you can know what you did and why I'm upset. I had a lot of therapy in my past that taught me how to do that. I identify emotions. I feel them right then and there. And if a person steps over that line, I am open and honest like that, authentic and assertive. I let them know right then and there. I don't just explode, and that's not what I did to her. But I let her know right then and there, Mom, okay, you just crossed a boundary. We talked about this morning. We already had a plan. You know what my boundary was. Now I'm hurt. And then as she began to gaslight me, then I got pissed. Okay. So that's why I'm explaining myself. I understand the best way to deal with a narcissist is say as little as possible, stonewall, no contact, whatever. But when it's your own mother, it is more difficult. And it's really hard. And I don't like to keep all that toxic shit inside of me. I like to communicate with people openly and honestly about what my problem is. How can we resolve this problem? I like to give people a chance to work on themselves, to know how they've hurt me. That's just me getting it off my shit so I don't store it and take it out, misdirected anger or somewhere else. And that's me caring about them so they can know what's up. But at the same time, I got it. I also know you don't do that with a narcissist. They are not regular people. You're not ever going to get anywhere with that. So be careful with that. You guys can do whatever is best for you, what happened to me, what I feel like about it, and how I have to balance all that out. But I learned a valuable lesson again today. It's reinforced in me. Work on my energy. Continue focusing on my healing. Sometimes we get off track. We're struggling to survive after coming out of abuse, coming out of toxic situations. We're busy at work. We're all over the map. Continue focusing on your healing. Don't forget. Work on that energy so that these people, all of these energies, you will not be susceptible to them coming at you like that and taking you under and throwing you off balance again, like what happened to me today. So I'm continuing to work on it. Thanks, you guys. I really appreciate you watching.